delivering quality education, expanding access to learning. The official TV-based instruction of Tagum City. This is Tagum City Division's DepEd TV. Tara na!
Another exciting and electrifying day to all grade 12 learners out there. It's time again for another meaningful learning experience here in LANTAW COMPRE, our school on air through television. This is another episode of the television-based instruction of DepEd Division of Tagum City featuring Electronic Products Assembly and Servicing. I am your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Agnes Marian Alalor, from Tagum City National Comprehensive High School. Join me today in discovering significant things to help you master automatic lighting with photocell sensor. When a light is installed outside your place, you will certainly feel disturbed if you would have to leave out the house just to turn the light on at night or put it off when the light is bright in the morning. But actually, you do not need to be bothered with that because you can make lights turn on and off automatically. But how? That's what you are about to learn today. So, let's get it on. Listen up, ready your pen, your paper, and your self-learning module with you. This time, let us check first on how much you know about today's topic. Choose the letter of the correct answer. You will be given 5 seconds to answer. Are you all set? Then, let's begin. Question number 1. It can be defined as a light-sensitive module. Letter A, photovoltaic cell. B, photocell. Letter C, Golay cell. Or letter D, charge-coupled devices. The correct answer is letter B. Question number 2. It is an electronic component mounted in a photocell, a type of resistor with a resistance value depending on the light it receives. Letter A, LDR. B, transistor. C, resistor. D, thermistor. The correct answer is letter A. Question number 3. It is to change the energy from solar to electrical. Letter A, photovoltaic cell. B, photocell. C, Golay cell. D, charge-coupled devices. The correct answer is letter A. Question number 4. It is mainly used to sense IR radiation. A, photovoltaic cell. B, photocell. C, Golay cell. And letter D, charge-coupled devices. The correct answer is letter C. Question number 5. It is a very sensitive sensor. A, photovoltaic cell. B, Golay cell. C, photomultiplier. D, charge-coupled devices. The correct answer is letter D. Were you able to get the correct answer? If you get a perfect score, then you already have an advanced knowledge on this topic. Are you ready to learn more? But before anything else, let us have our objectives first. At the end of today's lesson, you are expected to describe photocell, explain the working principle of photocell, and differentiate the types of photocell. Essentially, a photocell is a type of resistor that can adjust its resistive value in response to light intensity. These are affordable and easy to acquire in a variety of sizes and requirements. Even if they are from the same family, each photocell sensor will behave differently than others. Actually, the variations in this may be greater, larger, and so on. A photocell is a light-sensitive module according to its definition. The street lighting works automatically using a light intensity sensor called photocell or photocontrol. It is a switch that works automatically by light sensor or light-dependent resistor. This can be used in a wide variety of applications by connecting to an electrical or electronic circuit such as sunset to sunrise lighting that switches on mechanically whenever the light intensity is low. In addition to intrusion alarms and automatic doors detecting sensor. The key characteristic of a photocell includes its small size, lower power consumption, low cost, and ease of use. These are commonly used in gadgets, toys, and appliances for these purposes. Cadmium sulfide cells are a common name for these sensors. Photoresistors and LDRs are used to make this. These sensors are well suited to light-sensitive applications, such as when it's dark outside. If there is a block light in front of the sensor, or anything is disrupting a laser light, sensor that receive the majority of the light should be avoided. But what are the difference between photocell and LDR? Photocell is a device in the form of an electronic circuit that functions as a circuit breaker or connecting electric current that works automatically in accordance with the intensity of light it receives, while LDR is an electronic component that is installed in a photocell and is a form of resistor whose resistance varies depending on the amount of light it receives. Photocells are often used for lighting that can be switched on and off automatically. Aside from being mounted for street lighting, we can also use photocell to create other automatic systems such as motion sensor, auto valve by hand, auto door close and open, and auto alarm body sensor, depending on our individual creation and imagination. Photocell construction. An evacuated glass tube with two electrodes, such as collector and emitter, can be used to create a photocell. It is possible to make the emitter terminal look like semi-hollow cylinder. It is still a negative potential configuration. The collector terminal can take the shape of a metal that is arranged along the axis of a partially cylindrical emitter. This can be held as a steady positive voltage. The evacuated glass tube can be mounted on a non-metallic frame, and pins for exterior connections are provided at the base. Photocell working principle. The working principle of a photocell can depend on the occurrence of electrical resistance and the effect of photoelectric. This is capable of converting light energy to electrical energy. When the emitter terminal of a battery is wired to the negative terminal and the collector terminal to the positive terminal, when the frequency of the radiation exceeds the terminal's threshold frequency in the emitter, phototon emission occurs. In the direction of the collector, phototon electrons are involved. With respect to the emitter terminal, the collector terminal is the positive terminal. As a result, the circuit would have current flowing through it. The photoelectric current will increase if the radiation intensity is increased. To further understand about photocell, here are its types. The first one is the photovoltaic cell. A photovoltaic cell's primary purpose is to convert solar energy to electrical energy. As photons beat electrons over the cell into a high state of energy, a usable current will occur. The second one is the charge-coupled devices. Since these devices are very consistent and exact photosensors, they can be used by the scientific community. When photosensitive sensors produce a charge, it can be used to study anything from galaxies to molecules. The third one is a photoresistor. LDRs are one kind of sensor devices whose resistivity can be reduced with the sum of exposed light. The camera light, meters, and several alarms utilize inexpensive photoresistors in their applications. The fourth one is the Gallium cell. A Gallium cell is mainly used to sense IR radiation. Xenon gas is pumped through one end of the blackened metal plate cylinder. The infrared energy that falls on the blackened plate heats the gas within the cylinder and bends the elastic diaphragm over the other end. The motion is used to determine the output of the energy source in this case. The fifth one is the photomultiplier. Photomultipliers are extremely sensitive sensors. The hazy light can be multiplied by a factor of 100 million. Here are some of the following uses of photocells. First, photocells are used in automatic lights to switch on when it gets dark, and the deactivation of street lights is mostly determined by the time of the day, whether night or day. The second one is that these are used as timers in running race to calculate runner speed. Another purpose of photocell is that they are used to keep track on how many cars are on the lane. Another one, instead of photovoltaic cells and variable resistors, these are used. The next one is that lux meters use this to determine light intensity. Next, this can be used as both switches and sensors. Another one, these are used in burglar alarms to keep a thief at bay. Next, these are used in robotics to guide robots to hide from you in the dark or to follow a beacon or line if they are not. Another one is that they are used in exposure meters, which can be used with the camera to determine the proper exposure time for a good picture. Photocells are used in the production of sound that can be captured on a film. And lastly, these are used in lights that shift from dusk to dawn. There are so many things ahead of you, so never get tired discovering anew. Continue reading your module on page 9 to 12 to learn more about automatic lighting with photocell sensor. But did you understand our lesson on photocell? Do you think after today's discussion, you can now answer this test? Are you all set? Then, let's begin. Number 1. It can be defined as a light-sensitive module. Letter A, photovoltaic cell. B, photocell. C, Golay cell. And D, charge-coupled devices. The correct answer is letter B. Number 2. It is an electronic component mounted in a photocell, a type of resistor with a resistance value depending on the light it receives. Letter A, LDR. B, transistor. C, resistor. D, thermistor. The correct answer is letter A. Number 3. It is to change the energy from solar to electrical. Letter A, photovoltaic cell. B, photocell. C, Golay cell. And D, charge-coupled devices. The correct answer is letter A. Number 4. It is mainly used to sense IR radiation. Letter A, photovoltaic cell. B, photocell. C, Golay cell. D, charge-coupled devices. And the correct answer is letter C. Number 5. It is a very sensitive sensor. Letter A, photovoltaic cell. B, Golay cell. C, photomultiplier. D, charge-coupled devices. And the correct answer is letter C. Well done, senior high school learners! You may continue answering your modules on pages 13 to 19. Keep it up for our next lesson. And that's the end of today's episode from LANTAW COMPRE, our TV school on air. See you again in our next session. This has been your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Agnes Marian Alolor, saying, in the midst of darkness, light persists. Maybe you need to know the darkness before you can appreciate the light. And it is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. The light that will lead us into the right path of life. Keep learning! Bye-bye!